I'm going to share my slides. So we are doing Ikigai, and today we are going to talk about lesson 7, which is Okinawa's miracle diet. Presentation mode. So yeah, so today we are going to learn about Ikigai diet. So if you remember, last weekend we learned about traveling to Ogimi, and hope you all attended the session. So we talked about how spiritual tablets and Ikigai's takeaways are related. One of them was diet. So this lesson or this chapter is talking about more on their diet. What is that, they're eating or their diet is to have that lifestyle which is helping them to live that longer, like 100 plus centenarians, right? Like happy life. They're always happy and doing lot of things. Happily busy. Remember the word happily busy, not stressfully busy. So we are going to dive into it to learn more about their diet in this lesson. Little bit about life expectancy comparison between different countries here. This chart, just to, I just put it here to get an idea about Okinawa. Just 4 countries. I think these are the blue zones in lesson 1 when Sindhuja ma'am has done the lesson 1. So we talked about blue zones. So here, if you see, Okinawa is the highest life expectancy, right, in this chart. So yeah, I understand it's only till 2000, but even from still 1960 until even 2022, it's still, Okinawa is one of the top in life expectancy. And Okinawa is part of Japan, so we already know all that. So men, so as we know, it has the highest life expectancy in the world, and they say men average years they live is 85, and women 87.3, and they have the highest ratio of centenarians in the world. And this is in both female and males. So if you see male and female, so female have little higher life expectancy. This is in the world, it's not just one country. So not, just wanted to show you the life between male and female, and we'll know more about it, and how, why, and all that. So a little bit about Okinawa. So what are the secrets to their long life? What is it about Okinawa? So we learned a lot. We have been hearing this Okinawa, and also I think in lesson 1 also we learned about 80-20, how they eat and whatnot, right? So here this lesson talks little more details about their diet, what kind of food they eat, what are the portions, little more in depth. So a few points about Okinawa. The more speciality you can say, they don't have, this is the only state in Japan with no trains. People do walk or cycle when not driving. What does it mean? When they are more physical, they are more like active lifestyle. We learned a lot in the lesson 6 about their lifestyle. So this is another, highlight about it, especially in Okinawa. We learned about Ogimi in lesson 6. So this is like, Okinawa is little state and Ogimi is a village in Okinawa. So people do more like, walking and cycling. So there are like transportation, public, basically there's no public transportation. We can think in that way. And they follow Japanese government recommendation, which is less like eating salt, like less than 10 grams per day. So they're very strict in what they're following about intake of salt or what kind of food they do. This is like you can say like a government regulation on salt intake. Those are the like key points I thought they're good to know about Okinawa. And now we go into Okinawa's miracle diet. So what is it, right? They call it as miracle. The way we do hear miracle thoughts and all, like, which is like super like highest, or it's super good miracle diet. They call it as miracle diet. So let's look into what is their miracle diet. Um, and first thing they talk is like, this miracle diet is helping them with the mortality rate and also cardiovascular disease. And this miracle Okinawa's diet, if you look at a lot of US diets, especially in USA, a lot of fitness, and if you look in the books also, they take Okinawa's diet as a reference, or they look into it, or they take a lot of information from these people, and they add a little bit more westernized diets. So that is why this Okinawa's miracle diet is not just in Japan. It's like worldwide. A lot of people do follow, and they have books. They have done a lot of research on this miracle diet. As we go into more, like Makoto Suzuki, who is a cardiologist and a professor at University of Ryukyu, he published a lot of articles on nutrition and aging in Okinawa since 1970. So he has been still doing a lot of research, a lot of nice tech talks he has. So I put a video here. Maybe I can share it in the group later on. You all can watch it. He has done a lot of research on their diet. What is it from, like 1970? So just imagine, friends, it's like 50 years back. So because he knows like people are living 100 plus years, and he wants to know what are they eating and how, every detail he has like written it down, researched articles. And he, not only just him, he took few other people's help, like Bradley Wilcox and Craig Wilcox. These people are also pretty famous, in and they have researched, and this, like all three of them, they have researched and published a book called Okinawa Program, so which is like a bible on this subject. That's what they call it as. And it is available, all the books, even in US and online too. And little bit we go into their optimal. So we are calling Okinawa's miracle diet, right? So when we look at our old if you think about Vedas or our Vedantic scriptures, right? Like taking Upanishad, like Bhagavad Gita, we have in Atma Samyama Yogam, which is chapter 6, 17th shloka. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabhutasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. So what does this mean? Yuktahara means regulating. So basically controlling, or you don't say controlling, at least moderate, being in a balanced state. You don't go overeating. So viharasya is basically having like enjoying recreation kind of thing. Yukta is like in a regulated way. And cheshtasya karmasu, so doing all your work, so whatever it is, right? Your activities. Swapna bodhasya, so which is sleeping habits. So they're talking about eating, sleeping, and your work. Don't go overboard. And all these three, when they are in balanced, then you become a yogi. Yogo bhavati dukkha. Dukkha is basically it's removing all your pains, all your sufferings. So we can think all your pains and suffering as diseases. So this shlokam, which is from Gita, uh, you can say like, somewhere I heard like all these Japanese and Chinese people, whatever their diet, they're all following. Everything is like, I don't want to say they copied, but it's already there in our Vedas. Uh, some thousands of years ago, they have already written all this optimal diet, right? And also like in spiritual tablets, we do talk about optimal diet. What is optimal diet? Eating in moderation, but also quality of the diet. So here, what is optimal diet, right? Optimal diet is basically body, mind, and soul in balanced state. What does that mean? So like we have five senses, right? Whatever like we are seeing or we are eating, we are touching, sensing, all these senses add, right? So for example, right, if you're waiting somewhere or whatever you see, even on the TV, the objects you see or the movies you see, you have to select the ones which are not uh, you know you don't lose energy with that. You want to have good energy levels in your body, right? So when you go, for example, you're waiting for someone on maybe outside, right? Or you're standing in a line for something. So you are in like maybe something like smelling, like one of the senses is like smell, right? So it's not a good smell if you keep on thinking about that bad smell. So that basically it's draining your energy, right? So instead of that, see some blue sky or the birds or the beautiful nature. So that will add more energy into the body. So that is what it means, like optimal diet. What you do like with your senses and with your body, mind, soul, how all these three are interconnected. And to keep that balanced state, how we can like manage our, you can say like how you can manage your senses, like don't instead of thinking that bad smell, you can concentrating on that and keep on thinking that it will lose your energy, right? So just shift your attention to that. The same way what we watch on the TV or the movies, if you don't have enough energy levels, I would not even watch, right? I mean, especially like horror things and all, which can go and affect our energy levels. So, to keep all these in a balanced state, that's what is optimal diet mean. Um, and the next slide, um, I just have a few points here. How what kind of diet can lead, especially in US. We hear a lot of diabetes and heart diseases here. And the biggest two things I can think about, these two are the salt intake and the sugar intake. So we'll come back to this slide after we read about little more. But I thought I'll just put this one, so that you all have, um, just an idea how we can control these or, regulate these by taking what and how much quantity and all that. So let's look into their optimal diet. So if we talk about the optimal diet, right? There's so many diets are going on US, like keto diet, whatnot, whatever the names. I don't even look at nowadays. Holistic diet, mind diet, and weight loss diet, optimal diet. So, but you have to be really careful in selecting what is the best thing and what works for you. Just blindly don't follow whatever the diet they are saying, weight loss, weight loss diet and all. I think in US I hear pretty much every day or every week I hear a new diet coming up, and some people do follow them. I mean, if it is working out, it's good, as long as you body, mind, and intellect are all intact and doing all this optimal diet, not only just taking the food for the physical body, but at the same time your internal senses and your external senses are also in balance, and you're not draining your energy levels. Um, so let's look at Okinawa's diet. So if we look at the pyramid right here, they have like 7 to 13 servings of vegetables, and they do eat rice. They do eat like carbs, noodles, but we'll go how much they eat, right? They don't overeat. Like, we'll go later on what the quantity levels are. But if you look at the variety of food they eat, if you see the bottom part on the pyramid is like more vegetables, right? And 7 to 13 servings of grains, and the next comes the fruits, right? And so they eat the meat also. They eat only fish. Fish is the one they eat more. Um, and if you see the sweet, right, it's on the top level. So on the peak, that means like very, very little they eat all the like sugar desserts or anything, right? So here in US, right, if you go to a restaurant or, most of the, even if you have a party or anything, right, first thing they serve appetizer, they have main course, and they have like, the dessert. Sweet is like a must. They but in Okinawa, sweet is the least thing they eat. So let's look at more here. What they said is like, wide variety of foods. We just saw this whole picture showed wide variety of foods, and including spices. They do different foods and also including spices on a regular basis. Um, on average, they eat 8 different foods each day. How many of us do different foods every day? Even I'm also working on my diet, especially, when it comes, I do 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. The fourth day, I'm like little tired, or is it like, being consistent, I think is what we have to work on. I know we follow some diet, but how much how consistent you are, that also matters. So we have to try our best to have, whatever diet you're following, keep that, more, add more vegetables in your diet. So these people every day they make it a habit of eating 8 different foods, and at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, eating the rainbow. You know that Vibgyor colors, right? The 7 colors. So the plate, they have like 7 or minimum at least 5 servings here. They said fruits and vegetables daily. And greater than 30% of daily calories they are getting from vegetables, which we have seen in the bottom part, right? The biggest chunk here is vegetables, and they rarely eat sugar. Even if they eat sugar, that is like a cane sugar, and very, very, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. Uh, so, yeah, we are going to go into this method called Hara Hachibu. So they follow this, which is an ancient practice. Actually, that is what, the Gita shlokam which I read, 6th chapter, 17th shlokam is talking about the same thing, whatever they are calling as Hara Hachibu in their language. But in our Gita, it's the same Yuktahara. Basically, you don't fill your stomach 100%. You keep some space, completely don't overeat. So eat your 80% full. Yeah. So eat until you are 80% full. And basically, HHB is nothing but Hara Hachibu. And you also can skip the dessert, so reducing the portion size. Um, I want to share one story. Forgot to share earlier. So also, people sometimes they want to skip food. You have to listen to your body also at the same time. So once what happens, Gautam Buddha, he was this is before enlightenment. So he wanted to completely skip his meals. So he was not eating anything for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And after he was meditating, but after 3, 4 days, he was having little tough time in the meditation. And then, it was a village, and some women were carrying water, and they were like holding the water and just singing a song, which means when you tighten the strings of a guitar, it will break. Guitar or a tampura will break. So Gautam Buddha, then he understood, even the people who are not educated, they were beautifully singing that song and going. So what does it mean? So if you over tight any of your strings, that means like in your body, you are not feeding your body at all and just sitting in meditation, that doesn't help. So then he realizes, you know, it's also not to completely skip the meals. Um, yes, ma'am. Yeah. Designed by Dr. Vishwajit Roy Chaudhary. Yeah, there's so many diets. Uh, yeah, the most important thing is optimal diet. The body, mind, and soul. Also, make sure the your whatever you're feeding to your senses. It's not just whatever you're taking as for the physical body. It's also whatever you're taking inside, what you're giving to your soul, right? Mind. So that's also an important aspect here. I want to emphasize, not just physical eating food. Yeah. Uh, and there are 15 natural antioxidants in Okinawan diet, and they have mentioned, you can just read through it. It's like tofu, all vegetarian. See how do you see anywhere like meat except like tuna? That's what we talked earlier, right? It's just a fish, and rest of it all vegetarian. This is they eat highly rich in antioxidant food. um, Cucumber, soya bean, sweet potato, peppers, jasmine tea. So here I want to mention, we learned in previous chapters, wherever they go, wherever they greet people, they have green tea, right? So this is like another form of green tea. It's called like san pincha. So this is basically a mixture of green tea and jasmine flower. So in our West here in US, you can think as you can call it as jasmine tea. You get it in Asian stores. So they say jasmine tea reduces blood cholesterol levels. So they drink this on an average of 3 cups in a day. So they're not, I haven't seen anywhere, nor, they're talking about coffee or black tea. The only tea they drink is green tea and san pincha right now. So, how much, of course, people do drink coffee, but, it's, you just have to see your lifestyle, how, what, and all, what it takes and what it gives you, what you're taking, and, what you'll get it. Uh, the secrets of green tea. So after reading this lesson, I was more attracted to get more jasmine tea and green tea from the stores. And especially in this season, it's, in US, it is at least allergy season and a lot of flu going on. So it's the best time to have green tea and jasmine tea. So there are a lot of benefits having a green tea, like reducing cholesterol, blood sugar levels, increase circulation against, especially now, this is not a good time in US, at least next few months. A lot of people are like kind of with flu and sick and all. So, it's good to have green tea and protection against from bacterial infections, and also make sure to get a proper green tea, like, the leaves, not the packed ones, not the boxed green tea. Of course, there are a lot of brands, lot of boxed ones, getting the real green tea leaves and making it, with real water and on the stove, instead of microwave and all that. So that is, it helps. Mm, And other thing I want to talk is about shikwasa fruit. We have heard in so many lessons, previous lessons, about this fruit. This is a citrus fruit. We learned last lesson they made a shikwasa cake for a birthday party, if you all remember. So it's like, it's like a lemon or a lime family. It's a citrus family, and Ogimi is the largest producer in Japan. It's very highly acidic and high in antioxidant too. So a lot of good things, vitamin C and B1 and minerals. A lot of good things are there, and they have this fruit, green tea and the shikwasa are like pretty much everywhere and anytime. And in all the dishes they use, and they juice it, and they have to dilute because it's very acidic too. So once they juice it, they dilute and they drink. So this is like another, you can call their secret in miracle diet, shikwasa fruit and the green tea. Um, so as everybody wants to look young, right? So what are the foods they're recommending? If you look at their recommendation, lot of vegetables and like broccoli, chard, and high concentration water, minerals, and fiber. Because they talk little bit about fish, uh, and fruits, lot of fruits, berries, and dried fruits, grains such as oats, wheat, which give you energy and contains minerals, olive oil, and red wine in moderation. They don't take hard alcohol, and no other red meat here. If you see, they take only like fish once in a week or something. But I would say 80 to 70 to 80% they are eating vegetables and fruits. Yeah, this is what they're recommending for not to age. Diet is for lifestyle changes, not for few months or time period. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sridevi, ma'am. So takeaways. I just will go back to that diseases chart again. What are the takeaways from this lesson, friends? Anything refined, like boxed, just take whatever the fresh. If you're growing your vegetables in the garden, take those, and no processed baked goods, and prepared foods along with, like, cow's milk or all its derivatives. In US, at least, it's a lot of processed food here. Starting from breakfast, if you hear, if you see, like, all the breakfast items, cereal, whatnot, everything is boxed. Everything has sugar in it. Even in the milk, like we get in organic stores too, there are added sugars. I have been looking at the ingredients. It has like added sugar. So they're adding sugar again in those foods. And one more thing, like when you, I don't know in India if it is there, but here, when you go for like take your kids to annual checkups or anything, first thing the doctor gives is like to write. There is not a survey, like question and answer kind of a paper. It has like how many servings of milk you're taking, how many servings of fruits you're eating per day, how many servings of vegetables you eat. This is a questionnaire for kids. I haven't seen for myself adult, but whenever I used to take my kids for a doctor, this is like, they have to answer all that. And I used to be more like, telling them, see, the doctor is asking. I'm not asking how many vegetables you eat or how many fruits you eat. And they also have a question there. How many times you eat outside, like the restaurant food? Once a week, twice a week, 5 times a week, or every day also? So these are all the questions very nicely, they have put it, especially here, because a lot of people eat outside too. So in a way, they know they have all these options, but people have to be aware and, be more careful on what they're eating and what they're taking it in. So that I just wanted to share that beautiful thing in the doctor's office. Especially the questionnaire is all about the food and cow's milk also, where they ask like 2%, 1% whole milk, and how much quantity, all this. So you know there are things, there are a lot of information, lot of things are there online, at the doctor's place, but it's just people have to be more diligent in what they're eating and what they're following and being consistent. um, so and the last slide, it says, so eat less to live longer. So we talked a lot about the diet, the food, um, what are the like variety of food, how many servings they eat. So what do you all think? Eating less will make you live longer? Mm, so let's go. So key to stay healthy with fewer calories is eating foods which have high nutritional value. That's what it is, right? We take food which has more or higher nutritional value. And if you keep on eating like frozen or boxed foods or pre-made foods, all those have, I mean, they are tasty, they are good, they are made fine, but they are not like, all the nutrition is lost in them. So you may not get all the stuff what you really your body needs. So that is what is, optimal diet. And calorie regulation. The other way you can live longer, first thing is like, high nutritional food with fewer calories, but picking the right food. And the second one is the calorie regulation. So what does that mean? So to add years to your life, so you have to follow the 80-20 thing. Plays an important role in your aging process. The variety of food and the quantity of food. Yeah. Yes. Mindful eating instead of just overeating. That's what our Bhagavad Gita also mentioned. Long, long years, thousands of years ago itself, our rishis and all have already mentioned, don't overeat, don't oversleep, don't overwork also. Some people, we do hear a lot of people workaholic or alcoholic, or in even eating or sleeping also you have to regulate. It's not just the food, right? Optimal diet is all of them, and which is exactly what our Gita also mentioned. Yeah, eating optimum food will keep you healthy and help you in digestion. Yes, Dineshji. um and if you see their look at their plates, so many varieties of foods, and look at the quantity, how much quantity they eat. Yeah. And so Okinawa diet with natural ingredients, and we saw in lesson 6, everything they grow in there, most of them, 100%, they say 100%, all of them grow vegetables in their garden, and they use those for their cooking. And in that way, they are also busy. Their fingers are busy. They don't just lie down on the sofa. Even they are 80 years, 90 years, 100 years old, they are still active. Their lifestyle is active because their food, right? The diet, one of the most important thing is the diet, what diet they're eating and taking, and they're in the nature. They are not like just watching some horror movies or anything which is not, their body, mind, soul are all in balance, and they're in always happy state. So if we go back to our, the diseases in US, I have put in US because I know these two are very, very common here. So many people are suffering with heart disease and diabetes. So what are the two main ingredients, friends? One is the sugar and the other one is the salt. And especially Okinawan or, Ogimi people, their salt intake is like less than 10 grams, 7 grams or something. The whole day, per day, not even per meal or something. And how much salt we take. So that's one thing to question yourself. And the diabetes, like, sugar intake. Of course, I will not argue here on diabetes. It's because you eat only sweets, you get diabetes. But you can see their sugar intake. You saw the pyramid, right? It's always on the top. And they do, even if they take the sugar, they're taking the natural sugar, the cane sugar. It's not refined or processed sugar. And their desserts are the least thing they eat. Yeah, that's white foods. Yes, ma'am. So I just wanted to highlight on those points and follow the 80-20 rule, right? Don't overeat and overworking and oversleeping too. I think that's it, friends. Any questions? I will just open the floor. This is a small lesson, friends. It's morely talking about diet. And anybody are like want to share about what diet you are following and any? I'll just keep this takeaway sheet. Anyone want to share about how their diet helped, or if you look at spiritual tablets, are you following um, like optimal? I think you all might have done spiritual. I think most of you all know spiritual tablets here. So optimal diet is not just the food, right? So you all got some idea. You want to share anything, even though you're doing the diet, but still there something happening, or anything you want to share. Yes, Sridev ma'am. Let me unmute you. Yeah. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people, or at least what I noticed is when people say diet, they follow only for a couple of months, like
Mm-hmm.
3 months on a keto diet, 3 months on a whole for whatever reason, and then as soon as that is done, then they are go back to, more eating and things like that, that will not work out. So anything, I think it's like a lifestyle changes they have to make
Mm-hmm.
with all kind of, like protein or fiber and everything,
Yeah.
because if you just keep on only on, one type of thing, then you might be
Mm-hmm.
missing other things. So
Yeah. Yeah. True, ma'am.
it's always good to have everything included.
Yes. Very true. For me, I
Thank you
think.
so much.
Thank you, Sridev, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your views. I didn't know about this 80-20 thing rule until I read this chapter. Um, Even for kids and all, like, we overfeed them. I used to think, oh, they have to eat full stomach, whatever it is, just keep on, especially when the kid is not saying, I don't want to eat, I don't want to eat. Keep on, used to like force them eating, like put the food and put TV, something, whatnot, right? After reading this, I realized, oh my God, wow, we should never do those kind of things. If they are saying stop, then stop. You don't need to overfeed them, right? And even for ourselves too. So being more conscious, being more aware on what we are doing. And that awareness, when how we get is by meditation too, right? Meditation helps us to be more aware on what we are doing and how we are taking food also matters, like, all whatever spiritual tablets is conveying, meditation, optimal diet, reading books, being in satsanga. Actually, this optimal diet is nothing but a sattvic. Whatever they are saying, reduce your sugar and all is sattvic food. Nowadays, like I do hear like a lot of sattvic restaurants also here. Recently, at least place where I am, I heard sattvic restaurants. So I'm happy that people are looking into this, uh, changing their lifestyle. Yeah, yeah.
I have one
Thank you,
more
ma'am.
thing to share with ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed like people at my generation, like
Mm-hmm. Ma'am, you're
or
cutting out. I
all of
can't
us,
hear. Uh,
when they go and get together or any parties, they eat,
yeah.
and after like if they eat for a half an hour, they kind of feel sad for 3 hours. So I see like whereas like my mom's generation, even if they eat, it's okay, they consider it's okay, we had tasty food, and they don't
True.
feel sad for several hours or days, that I feel like even if you eat, maybe you should just forget and plan for next time not to eat.
Very true, ma'am. Actually, at least I can relate to that when we go for a buffet system, right? Like in a I don't know if I'm seeing nowadays, but initially when I came to US, there were so many places with lot of buffet, so much food, right? So much of food is served, and how much just seeing it itself, like sometimes we are filled with. But people want to try different things and they overeat when it is especially freely available. So much food, people do overeat. So we have to make a conscious choice also where we are going and how much we are eating. Yeah. Dinesh ji, yes, yeah, please.
Namaskar, Atma Vandanam.
Yeah.
I'm Dinesh from New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the regarding food you just talk about, I also unknowingly follow the optimum diet, means 80-20 rules without knowing that. Okay, and we are doing this like years now, and
Mm,
I'm about 73 years old, and my diet is in morning like just we take light breakfast. American diet says take a heavy breakfast, but we never
mm,
follow that. Always light breakfast in the morning, and then after 2-3 hours gap, we take a fruit. At least 4 or 5 different fruit we eat in the morning, and
mm,
then after 2 hours, light lunch, and just we take tea in the morning, and then no tea throughout the day. Okay, and in evening we just take cooked food, and that is also light. Again, let me tell you one more thing. We are vegetarian. I never ate eggs or any fish or any other red meat or anything.
mm,
So I'm 100% vegetarian, and all what I said, we get energy from the beans and vegetables and all this, our grains. Okay,
mm.
and what
Awesome, sir. Mm,
right, and what I forgot one thing. What? Okay, so this is our regular, right, and after taking supper evening like between 7 and 8, then I don't eat anything until another next morning.
mm,
So it is like a 12 hours or 12 plus hour is a gap without taking anything except water. If you need a night time, after
mm,
eating evening, only water, nothing else. And I don't use, we don't consume milk at all throughout the month or throughout the years, I will say. Only we use milk in chai or coffee. That is in morning.
mm,
That's so. This is our lifestyle, and my
mm,
weight very controlled weight throughout the years, and also throughout the many years. It doesn't move too much, you know.
wow. Sir, we
Yeah.
are very lucky, sir. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just I
yeah,
like to share what is I experience from my
true.
habit, you know,
Yeah,
and maybe somebody want to follow. This is an ideal way to get it weight control without doing any what do you call? And yeah, we do little
exercise or yeah.
exercise. Yes, I do walking.
Mm.
Excuse me. I do walking every day, 4 to 5 miles.
Oh, wow. Awesome, sir.
Yeah, no other
Mm,
exercise, only walking in the natural atmosphere.
mm.
Yeah.
Very good to hear, sir. Very nice that you have shared your lifestyle. So yeah, sometimes I know it is difficult when you are living in a family. If one person has a different taste or different likings, you have to. It will be a challenge. But I'm happy to hear that you're following that diet and more vegetables and you're strict in the timings and all that. I do follow, but I am sometimes going back and then coming back. So I am still not there yet, but I'm working on it.
No, it
Thank you,
happens.
sir.
I'm not saying it is a strictly follow the timing. It happens day to day. Sometimes
Yeah,
plus minus 1 2 hours it happens, because if you
right.
are out of the house, you are doing something, or you have company, so you
Mm.
not follow exactly your timing. You have to adjust. You have to compromise little bit here and there. But still, the way we eat, a lot of fruits, vegetables,
You're more
salad,
healthy.
more
Yeah,
healthy.
more
Yes.
healthy, I think, and more active also, right?
Yeah,
So
and I'm not saying that I'm not eating junk food. Yeah, it happens in
it
once in a
happens.
month
Yeah,
or
yeah.
month in a two. Depend where you are, you know.
Mm.
But try to minimize outside food and try
Boxed.
to get from the home. Thank you for giving me opportunity to sharing my views and my lifestyle.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. And I can totally relate it on my own self because both families eat meat. And I once upon a time was a non-vegetarian. Now I see my lifestyle, how I am and how I was before. Huge difference, right? So, I am the example here standing in front of you, but I'm still working on my vegetables intake. Sometimes it doesn't happen that you have all the vegetables in the house too. So you have to live with what you have. At the same time, add more ingredients in your diet and follow the 80-20 rule. Just small tips, your sugar intake and salt intake, I guess. Swarna, ma'am, you want to share something? Yeah, please unmute
Yeah,
yourself and
yeah, Sureka ma'am. Thank you very much. Beautiful topic.
yeah.
So yeah, so much to take away from Japanese lifestyle and live longer and happy life. So yeah, great Dinesh ji, beautiful diet that you are following and definitely something to take away. But yeah,
Mm,
after coming to this meditation, our food intakes is concept is completely changed,
mm,
especially for me. You know, why you eat, I had like, oh, if I feel weak or something, I used to feel, oh, something I might have missed in my diet, so I have to what did I miss? So I would be very conscious, eating so much, rich, fresh food and all. But I
mm,
never had that fulfillment, right? So
true.
always I eat so much, but after that, it's just the stomach is full, but not whole body is never give a happiness or that we wanted.
Very
After
true.
coming here, I know Chandra Murali sir's diet is like excellent. Nobody can beat that. And
Mm,
learning from him, especially, my thing is wow, no rice, no chapati, no bread, because your body doesn't need that. Because who you are first, when you know truth, you are you are a nature being. You are a nature. You are mineral plant, and then came from animal, and now you have animal and human. So
mm,
no animal eats meat. And I don't know, maybe this just came from those we transition from animal to human. That time there's no much food and no much knowledge, so they used to hunt animals and eat, and all those the progressions starting initial stages maybe that happened, but that became a belief that, and everything changed.
mm,
Meat means protein. Now in my house, like,
mm,
I did now I can say totally I stopped, feeling, oh, kids, oh, poor kids. No, poor kids, they don't need, no yogi needed food, is eating food. So if my son doesn't eat one day, it doesn't matter. He will still alive and he will be very lightweight that day. So I feel that's okay. Let him go starving. So I said, my husband, oh, we are not giving good food. They're still non-vegetarian. I said, that's okay. Nothing happens. He
Yeah,
will at
true,
least
ma'am.
he will be mindful and he will think better that day. At least something will come, whatever nature is guiding, right? If his
Mm-hmm.
stomach is empty,
Yes,
everything he will think through. What is my life type? Means those type of questions. Otherwise, when stomach is full, you cannot think. So yeah,
very true,
now
ma'am.
I'm
Very
like
true.
I know. Don't worry if they don't eat. That's okay. Let them eat whenever wanted because that food is not really a food now.
Mm-hmm.
So that is understanding it came. So I just boiled food, vegetables, all vegetable whatever I have I mixed up and pressure cook. If needed little bit moong dal I add for with husk or without whatever, very little, very couple of spoons, a little bit of quinoa or anything, or I don't need to, but just to get that that gravy consistency. So much of cooker full of vegetables and little that, and put like 7 8 whistles. This is a little bit Chandra Murli sir's recipe, little bit
That's
modified.
okay. We need to know
And
that as well.
tomatoes, yeah, tomatoes,
Mhm.
chilies,
Mhm.
everything I add, whatever I have, a little bit peas, all vegetable. And then even the that bitter gourd also, one I cut and put it in that. you know all vegetables I put and mix, make a soup kind of thing, very liquidy. Aha, I'll eat just so enjoy like my amrutam. That's all. I just add some little coconut oil. That's it. No other oil. I stopped taking the refined oil after listening to sir. So no oil is the number one criteria that
Calories. Yeah.
harms our
Mm.
body. Not only calories, it is very bad for your health. You may be meditating, you are doing everything, but if you are not taking care of your body, you don't get deep meditation. When you are hungry, when you are fasting, you get deep meditation. So we say after meditation our diet changes, but I would say after diet change you get meditation. So that's how it works. So it's so good. Yeah, I was so severe cold, but throughout the night I went into a separate room. Throughout the night I worked on my only my diet. I can heal my cold or whatever. I know that how to heal, right? So like that, because it's everything is in our hand. If we
Mm-hmm.
can't heal, then what are we doing? What are we learning? All the tools you have, everything you have, and what are you talking, and why are you thinking, oh, why did I get? Okay, you got
Mm.
it, but you have that stamina and you have that tool. Use it and cure it.
Yeah.
So I
Very
just be
true.
away from family and just nicely, whenever I feel I don't sleep, just get and meditate and do breath work and all. So I'm feeling so today it's like I'm so energetic. Everything I'm carrying from outside. But yesterday I couldn't wake up, and today what am I doing? I did taking a tablet. So this is how it is. You have to trust nature, trust food.
Very true, ma'am. Yeah.
So when you eat this
That's
kind of diet,
yeah.
raw vegetable, raw juice, liquid juice, then nature you will
You're
like
connected
become
more to
like a
nature.
nature. Yeah,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
become like a nature, and then why don't you get deep meditation that day? You see, sit and oh my gosh, every day you sit, you will get the meditation. That's all. So it is so beautiful. We unnecessarily we think grains, protein, that this no, just
Mm.
needed as your body needs. So watch your body. Your body is the smartest one dashboard. So I know Chandra Madhuri sir will share more
Yeah.
beautifully. But this is what nowadays, if I don't have my that soup liquid, my veg soup, I will be like, oh, what I should be eating. I'll be looking here and there. That's why I just make so many
True.
servings and just keep in my fridge. I know I should be making every day. I try to, but I
We're
just try
working
to make
towards
lump
it.
sum also. Yeah,
Everything cannot happen in one day.
exactly.
So
At
we
least
take
I
baby
am away
steps.
from
At
true,
least
away
we are
from
aware and we are,
away, and
mindful
every
on
day
what we are eating and what we are
eating
taking
exactly
inside.
and happy. What not? There is no force here. Just enjoy. If I have my soup, oh, I'm done for
Mm.
done for that day,
That
and I
meal.
can
Yeah.
maybe focus on other people. What they want rice. Okay, chapati. What? Okay, I'll make it. What you eat? I'm not going to eat all these things. I will make for
Mm.
you. What you want? Tell me. I have my own thing.
Yeah.
So, so it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Nothing is no
very nice,
obstacle
ma'am.
or
Thank you
nothing.
so much
We
for sharing.
we can't say, oh, we have family. That no, you just fix your thing and then think about your family. So like that. So thank you, Sureka ma'am. Appreciate
Yeah,
for
that
bringing
was
this
a
topic.
beautiful sharing, ma'am. Thank you for recipes and all
Thank
that.
you very much.
You know,
Yeah, I just start off sharing.
yeah,
So whoever
especially
wanted.
that was a good one actually. Whenever, whenever we hear, especially our from parents, like
Hmm.
when I was sick, my mom first thing she says is, because you stopped everything,
Yeah,
you
correct.
know,
That's
because
belief
you
that
stopped eggs, because you stopped
it's
non-veg.
coming
I stopped like
coming
seven,
from.
8 years back, not even
I
like,
know.
recently.
Hmm.
So whenever I'm like anything happens, then she goes back to the food only
I know.
because
I
you're
know.
not
We
eating.
get
That's why you're sick.
we get laugh. Of course, they
So
are not meditating. Also, that's why we
true.
say
They don't
whatever
understand.
we are eating. They,
So
no, they don't understand, and they definitely think that they needed. But
mm,
you meditate and you be trust nature, then eat. But my
true.
husband is like whatever I'm cooking, only veg, right? So he has to eat, but he's so healthy. Yes, I'm sure inside in his head he's maybe appreciating me, but I don't ask. Uh,
Yeah.
but I see his health
Chandra
changes.
sir want to talk something? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
sir, go
please.
ahead. Yeah, please share your knowledge or
Let
wisdom on.
Jagrati ma'am also finish. Then I will-
Okay, sir. Yes, ma'am. Uh, you can unmute, right, ma'am? Yeah.
Yes. Very good morning to everybody. I would like to add a few tips for a healthy and a sattvic diet. So, Arnaman, your sharing was very beautiful, but I would like to add few things that food stored refrigerator actually use of refrigerator nowadays it has been proved by the scientists also that certain harmful gases are released in the refrigerator, and so it's better to consume the food fresh within 90 minutes of cooking. So we have to avoid keeping storing foods in deep
Fish tank.
freezers and fridge. Yeah, because many times I've seen my own relatives, they prepare something, some stuffings, and they preserve in the fridge and refrigerator, and they use it for months together. So that has to be avoided for a better health, because health issues they don't arise in young age. Like after 60s, the issues arise, like especially the related to the nervous system. Though meditation helps a lot, but yet if we practice certain habits, our health remains totally fine. Like no issues, even if we are at the age of reach at the age of 100. One more
Mm,
thing is that we have to take our supper, like dinner, uh, before sun sets.
mm. Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
basically intermittent fasting, right? So nowadays in US, it has become pretty much everyone, even young kids are doing that. IF,
yeah.
intermittent fasting, 12 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours. I mean, it
Actually,
is a good
fasting,
actually. Mm,
yeah, actually, kids are very active. So,
yeah.
kids, they don't require fasting. And our body, it requires maintenance up to the age of 25 years. Like, we have to build our body, physical body, physic, and we can eat as much as we need up to the age of 25 years. But after that, our body requires only a maintenance. So my master, he used to say that only 24 morsels in 24 hours are sufficient to stay healthy, to stay healthy. So and a few more points are there, but I will stop here because it will be over talking. So these were the few important tips, because I too have stopped using refrigerator, and I'm facing no problems because I'm uh, cooking fresh and eating both the
Fresh.
times.
Oh,
And yes, after 25 years of age, intermittent fasting is very necessary to detox our body. So thank
beautiful
you.
sharing, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a very good sharing. Yeah. Chandra sir, yeah, please.
First of all, Surekha, kudos to you. There is a tremendous transformation.
Oh, thank you, sir.
In your
Thank you
case,
so
when
much.
it
It was
comes
all
to-
your blessings and
No,
your input.
it's not blessing. See, we all are there, me, Ashok, and all. We will take you to the water, but we can't drink it for you.
Yeah.
Now, on this particular topic, I've heard my name come up a couple of times, and I've heard some wonderful feathers or icing on the cap, right? Icing on the cap, I would say, or icing on the cake. All these inputs are relevant. I mean, sometimes we have to use our common sense. For example, people talk about refined oil. Let's just think very practical. If 1 kilogram of groundnut costs, let us say, about 800 rupees, when you crush that and take out oil out of it, you will not get more than 20% or 25%. How is someone able to sell 1 liter of oil at a price which is less than 100 rupees? He says refined groundnut oil. 1 liter is X amount of rupees. How
You
is
can
it
think,
possible?
for
Right.
1 liter
So,
to make it
there
so many
are
cases.
areas where we have to apply common sense. Second, when should you eat? Have you ever seen an animal eat when it is not hungry? Right? Why do we need to eat 4 times a day? All these, right, will lead us to think about, are we eating right? Are we consuming right? When I say consume, see, one form of energy that enters our body is the food. Right? Now, let us say I eat 1200 calories worth of food, but my day is consuming only 400 calories. Where will the balance 800 go and sit? It won't vanish because I am able to consume only that much. If I give you a chocolate elephant and say, you have to eat the whole thing in a day, you know what will happen. The next day, how you will get up. Or you get, let us say, an opportunity to consume mirchi ka bhaji. Right? You eat about 20 or 25 of them because they are very tasty. What will happen to you the next day? You all know. Right? So, which brings us to what I need to consume. It needs to be balanced. Now, let us come to the most important component. This is the quantity, the quality, but the quality is impacted by the emotion with which you cook. That is another input. Recently, I posted a lecture in one of the groups. I don't know which group. If I have not posted it in this, someone can have access to it. That was a lecture about food, the style of cooking. And does the cooking, the mindset of the person who is cooking, does it make it a healthy dish, or can influence it energetically with negative emotions and convert it to poison. So even that contributes to the good quality food that we can consume. So we need to keep in fact what I eat, how much I eat, how it has been cooked, all these parameters into consideration, because end of the day, when we take it in, we don't realize that it is a solidified form of energy. And when it goes inside, there is a machine inside which is converting it again back to energy, which is going to sustain the body that it is in. Food is for what? Enjoy once in a while and see you have sufficient to energize yourself for the day. It is not a bank, it is not a locker where you will take and store whatever you have in excess without consuming. The body becomes a lake, water stagnates, the body stagnates, and thereby the downfall. So if we are very clear in terms of I get so much, I need 10% as a storage, and the balance I need to consume in a day, I think that would work out to be a wonderful formula in terms of what I take, how I am consuming, etc. Yes, there are occasions when we are not well. That time you need easily digestible, high energy food. And fundamentally, I heard about people giving their perceptions about non-veg and all, even doctors, right?
Yeah.
And you are finding more and more today realizing that our digestive system is actually the plant kingdom. It is created and nurtured by virtue of the plant. So if we keep all these inputs, I'm not surprised that people in Ogimi are living that age. There was a time when Indians used to live that age. Right? But those days, they were, see, what I consume if I'm able to spend in the day, 1200 calories is equal to 1200 calories, your system will start working properly. 1200 calories where 800 calories is required is equal to indigestion. As long as we realize that, we live by that formula, I think we are done. So that's my take from your wonderful session of 80-20, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank
In
you.
olden days, I think the another thing is there are no packed foods. Everything was raw. Everything was available, like, in their gardens. There was no foods in especially in US at least, frozen vegetables. Everything is freezed here. The milk is also like boiled so much high temperatures, and they give us, it's sometimes, it's also the place where we are, even though we want to have all natural foods, right? It's a challenge, I would say. Here we don't get fresh milk, sir, like in India. Like you get like from a buffalo or a cow. Of course, maybe you can stop completely dairy, which is another thing, cow's milk. That depends on the lifestyle and the kids and all that. I think Sridevi ma'am wants to add something else. Mute, ma'am. You can unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
As sir said that emotion while cooking, I also recently came to know that I used to cook weekends without taking shower. So I used to finish all my cooking and keep it clean, and then I go back to shower and come back to eat. But later I noticed, like some of the wisdom sessions, that this makes a lot of difference if you take a shower and then cook for family. Then I started making that change. So it's
I
kind
mean,
of
I wouldn't,
leads to emotion.
Sridevi
Yeah,
ma'am,
yeah,
right?
yeah, sir.
Shower is physical. What all I spoke about is the
Right,
energy.
right. Yeah. True.
Right?
Yeah.
See, I mean, shower is only cleansing the external appearance.
Body.
That doesn't mean that you are not still carrying excreta inside your body. You are.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So it is at the mental level that we should exude positivity. See, I mean, I'm not discouraging body cleaning. I mean, certainly that is a necessity. But more so, I may be angry while cooking. I might have done a wonderful bath. I would have taken an oil bath. I would have cleansed myself. That doesn't help. What
Yeah.
actually helps is from the mental frame, you are mindfully cooking. Right? That means you are not entertaining any negativity. That negativity, it's like we all use this example a number of times, right? You keep on cursing. You curse a glass of water before you take it repeatedly. You take it, it is going to do you harm. It will not do anything positive. People in the African country, there is a village where people stand around a tree and every day they only do the negative input to the tree. For a period of time, the tree dies. The same thing happens to our food and the nutritions within. So our emotional input. For example, in the olden days, yes, they used to bathe before they, right? And then they would actually pray to the fire before they light the fire. They would invoke that sentiment into the cooking. Then they would prepare the vessel in terms of cleansing it ceremoniously. That means they are giving it the energy that is necessary. And then they start the process of
Yeah.
all the
Even
while
while
they are
eating,
cooking, they are
there's a
chanting.
prayer, right?
Yes.
Even while
Even while eating,
there's
before eating also there is a prayer. It
Right.
says that Aham Vaiswa Naro Bhutva
Right.
Praninam Dev Namashritaha
Hmm.
Pranapaya Samayutaha Prachamyanyam Chaturveda. That means different entities that go inside kindly help my system digest. So there are so many other inputs, but basically everything is at the energy level that one needs to take into cognizance before getting into implementing any of this. That's the way I would read even your inputs.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I
Yes.
also
While you
heard
are doing the physical cleansing, that is the first step. The next step is the mental cleansing, and then is the process. And then every bit of food that you think you are consuming needs to be enjoyed. Don't eat in a hurry. Gulp something into the mouth and then say, I am getting late to my office. So what? The heavens don't fall if you get 5 minutes late. Better late. You read that on the roads also, right? Better late than never. Though it has got a different perspective of understanding. Never hurry. Do it at your own pace.
Yeah, we learned that
Thanks.
in lesson 6 also. Not in a hurry. Be relaxed, be calm. You know, what kind of, now just thinking back, what kind of lifestyle we had, it just scares me, you know. We used to cook, at least in US, you know, sir, we used to cook like for the whole week. Okay, just imagine, forget about daily.
Yeah, that was one
For the
reason
whole
which
week,
prompted me to
for
leave
7
the
days,
countries abroad.
6 dishes, 7 dishes put in the fridge. I mean, you know, because both working and all, it used to be, the lifestyle used to be like that. So a lot of things have changed, of course, for good. And also, I remember this quote: "What you eat, you become that." 'Cause the people who keep eating meat, I keep telling them, whatever you are eating, the emotions and everything, you know, animal or whatever the animal products you eat, that is going in you. And you know, whatever your actions, your thoughts, you're doing are all you know, coming from there. That's what I keep making fun of my family who eats.
I will throw a question which people can research over for the next week.
Sure, sir.
When it comes to eating, I mean, I slipped my question. I'll post it in the group.
Yes, ma'am,
I
definitely.
posted in the group. I lost track of that. It was a beautiful question.
We still have few more lessons. So next weekend.
Yeah, before next weekend, I'll post it. People can think on that before they come. That will help.
Sure, sir.
I'm sorry, I lost track because some other thought came in and this got pushed away.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about diet, you know. We can all keep on talking, and what kind of a lifestyle we are. At least, you know, I know it's 100% to be in this optimal diet. Might be a difficult challenge sometimes, especially, you know, being with social circle and being with family. You're not just living on your own. You have to, you know, like if you go for a party, as Sridevi ma'am shared, right? There's so much food. Even now, like, you know, whenever we go, keep thinking whether to eat or not.
One of the
It's-
wedding, they provided 100 items. They are also making like a social, status kind of thing. You know, the more items you give for their wedding or whatever, it's like, I don't know, it's not useful, but yeah, that's kind of 100 items in a wedding lunch is too much.
Yeah.
Another one I
Yeah.
noticed, one of my friend was saying that after she makes the food, she kind of says that, as a kind of a service, saying it's like an emotion or prayer kind of thing. You can say like, all you might be happy, healthy, and peace to the food, like whoever is taking the entire family.
Yes.
So you are just saying happy, healthy, and family. Peaceful, sorry. Yeah.
Sridevi madam and everyone, I just wanted to add one small thing, because wherever you go, whatever you see, whatever you feel like, but ultimately, if you are conscious enough and mindful of what you are eating, then you don't even judge whether you have 100 items or 200 items or 100, whatever the 50 items you have in the buffet doesn't matter anymore, because that happened with me, because I know that from the last 3 months what I am doing. So I used to be like that earlier, but once it has been mindful, once you teach yourself how to eat, then you don't need to worry about anything. Wherever you go, you just eat what you need.
Very true, sir. And that mindful consciousness, awareness, all that comes back to meditation.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Once you are a meditator, you don't need to worry about how people
exactly.
are looking, how their social status doesn't matter to us. If you wanted to go to a party, just go to a party. If you wanted to eat, whatever you wanted to eat, just eat. But if you wanted to follow that 80-20 rule, just follow 80-20 rule. If you wanted to follow 60-40 rule, 60-40 rule. Whatever you like, you just do it. But don't even say anything towards any other stuff what they have provided. It's their wish. We don't need to worry about them. You just worry about yourself, what you want to eat and what you don't want to eat.
Yeah, very true, sir. That's a wonderful point, sir. Yeah, we don't judge. Yeah, how many dishes and all that. Very true. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing. Okay, ma'am. Anybody else want to share? Naina ma'am, Lakshmi ma'am.
Right. I don't know, but yeah, this the very what my husband I see as a cardiologist. I just feel he follows everything, whatever you're saying. I have not seen him eating cake since last 16 years of my marriage. Even if he's
Wow.
going to cut for his birthday, he'll be just for an action, for a photo click. He will not eat means he will not eat. That's it. I don't know, so much of commitment, because we all are aware about all these things, whatever we have been seeing as a tradition.
True.
And so many things. Even after this session, I think so. How many of us are self-committed? As Ashok sir said, that is what is the question here. Commitment towards yourself as healthier as possible. It may not happen as because I eat cake. It doesn't mean that I will follow him. But when I'm eating, I will eat how much my relishment, my taste buds are satisfied. Not too much is too bad in everything possibly. That's it. And that's what I felt. And what suits your body, what suits your body is one more thing. And definitely being more aware of what you're eating around, buying things, as you said, you read ingredients. I think so most of Indians don't, follow the content as such. We don't have that habit. Many a times we get expired things. I realize that. Many of us, we don't even look behind. And a lot of the preservatives, whatever, like, salt and sugar are nothing but a preservatives. No matter what you buy, it is something with preservative, and every preservative is an allergen. So what suits your body is what you need to check, definitely. And at least a larger chunk, like, avoiding oil, refined food, and refined things. At least it is, larger chunk is avoided. And then going back to, tuning yourself with all this knowledge, like cooking, emotions you carry, prayer, rituals around it, ceremonial. I realized that with Chandra sirs, I could connect, But yeah, the little things, whatever you can do, you can really do it, like praying while you are cooking. You may be cooking one or two things, rest may be probably cooked by your maid because of the help you wish for. Yeah, but then with this all, I realize is I need to be at home. So they come up. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I
It is
found it really
difficult
nice.
actually. Yeah,
It's
especially in
worth
US at
being.
least. You
No,
have to do
otherwise I
everything.
would also feel, that it is worth being at home. That's
True.
one major lesson I learned
Yeah.
as a lady. It's a bigger, larger purpose and larger, behind the screen work. Yet, valuing yourself is something I think so. As maybe cook is because we, at least in Indian scenario, it is more so by lady. So that's the only thing. Thank you for this beautiful session, Sureka ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am. Thank
you.
you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
It's a beautiful sharing. Yes, I totally agree. If you're home, you take more time to cook. For me, sometimes I go overboard, especially during the festivals time. When it comes to deep frying and all that. Okay, it's yearly once. That's okay. You can have a puri. you know, um, Sometimes, what makes you happy. That's okay if you eat a deep fried one puri. So, Naina ma'am, yes, please share your experience or
Yeah,
whatever you.
beautiful discussion. Yeah. Um, Actually, I'm a foodie. And uh, as Sir said, no matter what, how much others serve, how many varieties they want, it is their wish. And I have made it my mission whenever I go attend any functions, okay, to have that control, because I know my body, what suits me and what will digest, in a better way. So I'm very conscious. So if you're conscious, that there is no need to get afraid or worry about how much they're serving. One more, and also, if you have cravings for food, kindly have. Okay, don't restrict saying that, oh, I'm on a diet. That is also a no, big no. Say, suppose if you are a foodie and you want to have pani puri today, just eat one pani puri and satisfy your palate.
Yeah.
There is no
Quantity,
need to
yeah.
restrict yourself. I should not eat this. Don't ever do that to your stomach. Okay. The more you resist, it persists. So that is what I learned. So I eat. These days I eat, but it is very little. Just I have eaten.
Very
so
true,
to
ma'am.
satisfy. Yeah. So there is no need to worry about all those things. And thank you so much for beautiful. And I agree, fridge food. I'm experimenting with that. And also, I used to stay in a residential school where we are before we have prayers for everything. So that is unknowingly I've been following it over the years before having food and after completion of your food, paying gratitude, and I have seen so many of them do this. Also, after I finish cooking, this is what I have inculcated in last 1 year. I just pray, offer it to Sai or whatever, whoever God is. Then I say, it is prasadam now and I will consume before I have my food. That is one thing I have made change. And thank you for beautiful discussions, all of you. Thank you for participating, all others. Thank you. And Dinesh sir, hats off to you for your, diet and health. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a beautiful sharing. I don't know if Dinesh sir is still here. Might have left.